Hello and welcome to the latest video in the Mantis Q40 series. Today we're going to take a look at how to cut, copy, paste files, make folders, and do a little bit more intermediate to advanced work within the file manager. So let's go ahead and get started. I can talk today. So I have the file manager open right now, and I want to create a new folder to put some files in. So if I want to create a new folder, and you can't really make new files here, you're going to do that from within like editor. But to create a new folder, you're just going to do a control plus the letter N. And the Mantis will prompt you and it says new folder, and you're going to get that nice blank area where you can enter the name of a folder. This is the first video in the series in the year 2022. So I'm just going to call this one Happy New Year. And I could capitalize if I wanted, but I'm choosing not to, and I'm going to hit enter. Now it sticks me right at the top of where I was before on the books folder, but if I hit the letter H, it takes me down to Happy New Year. Okay. If you wanted to rename that folder or a file, actually, if you can do either one of those things, but because I'm focused on this folder, let's go ahead and just use this example. So I'm focused on this Happy New Year. And if I want to rename it, I'm going to hit the F2 key. And to find F2, just as a reminder, if I go to the upper left corner of this Mantis and I find the escape key up here, and we follow it over. So it goes escape, F1, F2. So it's the third key in, even though it's F2. And as long as you can remember that that escape is there, it's totally fine. So I'm going to press F2. And I'm going to get a prompt here on the Braille display, and it says rename. And the name of the file, the folder, Happy New Year, is underlined, which indicates it's selected. If I hit a backspace, it will disappear. So now I can rename this whatever I want, and I want to rename it Happy 2022. 2022. Okay, perfect. So is that what it says? Yes, it does. I'm going to hit enter. And now that file, if I hit H to go back to that folder, yep, Happy 2022. And in this case, I did happen to capitalize the H in Happy, just, for funsies. Now, just as a heads up, the file name that you're using, or the folder name, has to be unique within the directory that you're in, okay? Right now, I'm in the root of the storage directory. So I'm on in the storage area of the Mantis. So I have this Happy New Year folder. If I tried to create a new folder with the same name, it would tell me that the folder already existed and I wouldn't be permitted to create it. I would be given an option of choosing a new name. But if I opened, for example, if I opened the books folder, I'm going to hit B. And that's back on books. So B for books. And if I opened this folder here, with an enter or a cursor routing key, I could create a folder called Happy New Year or New Year or Happy 2022, excuse me, because that's what it's called now. So I could create that if I wanted, because it's in a separate directory. So hope that makes sense. You just can't have two in the same name. So I just hit escape to get out of there because the books folder is empty. So in order to do specific things with a folder or a file, such as cutting or copying, it has to be selected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find that Happy 2022 folder and use that as another example. I can mark that file, and it's control plus the enter. So control, one of them, or the one that is often, which honestly to me is used most frequently, is that lower left corner of Mantis in the keyboard, and I'm going to do Control Enter, and that is selected now. I can tell it's selected because it is underlined with that dots 7 and 8. If I want to unselect it, it's the same thing. I would do Control Enter, and that's a toggle. So suppose I wanted to do something with it. So I want to select this folder. So I'm going to go ahead and select it again. I can copy or cut it. Now, you probably already know the difference, but in case you don't, I'm just going to really quick go through it. So if you cut something, okay, if you cut it, what you're doing is you're sort of taking it out of one location. And that means it totally gets rid of it. And I can paste it somewhere else so that it is no longer located in this location. This sort of idea is used when you want to move a file or a folder to a different place. Often you are going to want to cut it and paste it somewhere else. Now, copying is a different story. If you wanted something both on your Mantis in your storage area, in your hard drive, and you also wanted to copy it to, say, a removable drive, either your SD card or a thumb drive that's plugged in, you would copy that, and that would be the difference. And it would still remain on that hard drive as a file that exists there without having cut it. You have just made a copy, like a Xerox. Okay. I feel like that using the word Xerox totally aged me. Okay. Anyway, that's the copy and cut difference. So anyway, pretty easy. And Control C is copying. Control X is cutting. If you wanted to select multiple files, you could, files or folders. I can select all the files or folders, and let me just really quick unselect the one that's here. There we go. If I wanted to select everything on my storage drive, which is where I'm located now, I could do a Control A, and it literally selects everything, all of the folders and files that are here. Okay. So I'm going to just actually unselect those. So Control A again. So now everything is unselected. If I want to do two different files or folders that are not near each other, or they're not everything, I can do that. I can select, find that folder to mark the files that you want. So you can sort through. So here I'm on the books folder. Okay. So let's look at how I would move two folders into the books folder. So I found this books folder. I'm going to hit H. And the first thing I see is my Happy 2022 file and folder, and I don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and down arrow past it. And the next one I see is a Harry Potter folder. Oh, I want to select that, and I want to move it to the books folder. So I'm going to do a Control Enter. And as you can, well, you probably can't tell, it's underlined, so it's selected. So I'm going to use my down arrow now, and I'm moving to that second Harry Potter folder. And I'm going to select that one also with a Control Enter. So now if I do a down arrow again, I'm moving to online books, which is a different folder, and that's not selected because it's not underlined. But if I move up, here's this Harry Potter folder that is selected. I can tell because of the underline. If I move up again, same story. This other Harry Potter folder is also underlined. And if I move up again, I see this Happy New Year, or Happy 2022 actually, folder that is not underlined. So that's not selected. So I have two folders selected, and I want to cut them both. So I'm going to do a Control C to cut. Or actually, that's a Control C to copy. I'm going to do a Control X to cut it. And now that I've cut that, I can navigate to where I want to paste it. So I'm going to I'm going to press the letter B. And I'm going to press it again because that was the back button. So here's my books folder. I'm going to open it up. And that actually is empty. It's not going to be for long because when I do a Control V to paste those two folders in here, and you heard the display go boom, and it says paste it. So now when I navigate this books folder, I'm going to see these two Harry Potter books in this books folder. Okay, I'm going to go back to my storage, and now I'm going to hit H, and I see Happy 2022. And that's the only H one there is. So I have successfully cut and copied those folders into a different folder. The same thing in principle works with copying And the same principle works no matter how many folders you have selected and moved. It's just so easy to select multiple files or multiple folders just by making sure that you do that Control Enter. It's pretty easy, not complicated at all. And unlike a computer, when you use your up and down arrows, you're not unselecting the folder or file that you had in focus, like you had been in like you would on a computer, because these are marked. So that's the difference. Suppose I wanted to delete a file or folder, which would be easy to do. I would just select the file just like I had been doing. So let me find that Happy 2022, which I'm actually focused on. And couldn't get easier. You find that delete key, which is in your upper right hand corner of your Mantis. If you press delete, it says confirm. And in order to confirm it, I need to do a down arrow to where it says OK and press enter. And it'll say deleted. I would be able to press pretty much any other key like escape, or I could down arrow to cancel and not delete that. So once it's deleted, there is not a recycling. It is gone. So it's unlike a computer where there's like this recycling bin, there's not that here. And as we talked about before, if you wanted to delete multiple things, you would be able to select multiple folders, multiple files, just by doing that Control Enter in multiple locations. So it's pretty simple, but again, it's also very, very basic. Something that it doesn't necessarily tell you in the user guide is that you can mark, or you can open a context menu. So right now I'm focused on the books menu, or the books folder, I'm sorry. And I'm going to do a Control M to open that context menu. So if you forget any of these commands, they're easy to do this way as well. So I opened this up and it says, oops, I did a Control N instead of a Control M. So there we go. That makes a lot more sense. So now it says mark, and it gives me the command to how to do that. Just as a reminder, I think we might have gone over this last time, but just as a reminder, you can access that context menu if you forget these basic, pretty basic commands. It's not a big deal. Just that Control M, just like it is everywhere else on the Mantis. So I hope this video was helpful for you. If you like this series, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, or do that nice little thumbs up and let us know what you think in the comments. Thanks a lot and have a great day.